our preppers, homesteaders, permaculture people, and everyone else. I hope if you haven't gotten a copy already, you will purchase that. And any of my books, I've written and published 11 so far, and I have two more that'll be out within the next couple of months, God willing. So keep an eye out for that. And anyway, y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Just enjoy being with, family, friends, loved ones. People leave our lives all too quickly, and these are the moments. Cherish them. I hope you have the opportunity to spend this holiday with the people you care about and enjoy the food that you enjoy, and just remember to give thanks. That's actually it's what we're supposed to be doing on Thanksgiving. I don't think our culture necessarily prioritizes that aspect of the holiday, and that's a shame. That's a shame. And I miss Rush Limbaugh so badly. He always would read the story of the first Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day. I think you can still find that online. I think it's archived on his website. You can probably get it on YouTube. Get your kids to listen to that. They're not going to be taught in history class in public schools the real story. Now, I mean, I have qualms with it. You kind of taught in school that the Pilgrims were like the first Americans or something, but really, I mean, Jamestown was the first permanent English colony long before the Pilgrims. By the time they got here, I mean, New York had been established by the Dutch and was taken over by the English. Boston was a major area. The southern colonies from Virginia, Savannah, Georgetown, Charleston. I mean, it was really after the Civil War when Lincoln introduced the holiday to kind of Yankeefy American history. He didn't really want to admit that America was mostly founded by Southerners, that our first 5 presidents or such were all Southerners, and they kind of it was propaganda to make people think that New England was, really where America began, and the Pilgrims that came here supposedly for religious freedom. I had an ancestor on the Mayflower. I don't begrudge them. I mean, by our standards, they would have been considered a religious cult, and child services would be up there taking their kids away because, if you had a fire in your fireplace, they'd drag you out, put you in the stocks, and beat you. It's not exactly the kind of religious freedom most Americans came here for. Freedom to be a nutball cult was not exactly. I'm glad my ancestor headed south as quickly as he could. I'll just put it that way. But there are so many lessons to be learned from that story. I mean, originally they had a plan to be socialists, and they basically almost starved to death because socialism doesn't work. And there is a lot of good lessons in American history, and nobody did it better than Rush Limbaugh. Every day I miss Rush Limbaugh. For 20 years, 20 years, 5 days a week, 3 hours a day, I listen to Rush Limbaugh. Probably the biggest male influence on my life, because, my dad left when I was 5, my grandfather died when I was about 10. So for 20 years, I had Rush Limbaugh and the EIB network, and that's the reason I do this now. It was listening to Rush while I was in college that got me involved in politics and journalism, and started doing a little radio, and actually G. Gordon Liddy was sort of a mentor to me, and people say, well, you sound so comfortable when you do your podcast. Your voice is so clear. You don't get nervous. I mean, people say I do a good interview. Some people say they even listen to my show like twice to help them sleep at night. Like, they say your voice is so soothing. I don't get that. But yeah, I am very comfortable with it because of the influence of Rush Limbaugh and G. Gordon Liddy and Neil Bortz. He was a big influence. They're irreplaceable. Absolutely irreplaceable. Frankly, I think Sean Hannity's a moron. I don't listen to his show. Used to, but I just don't think he's bright. Bongino's good, but I mean, he's a little excitable. I got to kind of turn him down sometimes, turn him off. Clay and Buck, I really don't like their show at all. They just kind of babble and talk over people, and they don't give any depth to topics. There's no replacement. There's no replacement for Rush Limbaugh, and that's a shame. Now, my friend Frank Salvato, he does a really good radio show. Check him out. He's got a free Substack newsletter if you want to hear a political radio show. You might remember Frank used to be on O'Reilly sometimes early on in the show. And man, O'Reilly's a jerk. I will not listen to him. He is one arrogant jackass. He comes on the radio, I turn it off. Levin's good, but he's kind of gone off the rails on some issues. I mean, when he said Matt Gaetz wasn't conservative, I mean, come on. And all in for sending more and more billions to Zelensky just to enrich the oligarchs. I don't get it. But, time passes, and that's why I'm urging you, if you have the opportunity to spend time with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, never miss it, because they're gone too quickly. All right, y'all. Have a great week. I'll talk with you next time.
The information in this podcast is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease or condition. Nothing I say or write has been evaluated or approved by the FDA. I'm not a doctor. The U.S. government does not recognize the practice of herbal medicine, and there is no governing body regulating herbalists. Therefore, I'm really just a guy who studies herbs. I'm not offering any advice. I won't even claim that anything I write or say is accurate or true. I can tell you what herbs have been traditionally used for. I can tell you my own experience and if I believe an herb has helped me. I cannot nor would I tell you to do the same. If you use an herb anyone recommends, you are treating yourself. You take full responsibility for your health. Humans are individuals and no two are identical. What works for me may not work for you. You may have an allergy, a sensitivity, an underlying condition that no one else even shares and you don't even know about. Be careful with your health. By continuing to listen to my podcast or read my blog, you agree to be responsible for yourself, for your own research, make your own choices, and not to blame me for anything ever.